What's up, y'all? If you're seeing this video, you either got sent this by one of my setters or you found it on YouTube or you found it on one of my other platforms. And what I'm going to go over for the next 20 to 30 minutes is how I can take you and how I've taken tons of coaches past $10,000 months. If you're starting off and you're making $0, this isn't for you. This is somewhere where the coach, is at 5 to 10,000 and they're looking to scale because they're stuck with nothing but DM burnout, praying to go viral, and they have no real systems in place. It is a very simple process, and I'm going to walk you through A to Z on how me as a marketing company and how someone that has had over $10,000 days as a fitness coach is going to walk you into $20, $30, and $40,000 months. And for reference, this is just a daily income off of one of my payment processors, and that was for a half pay. And the way that this is going to work is it's not a lot that you have to do. See, people are going to make these VSLs for you, and they're going to have these fancy backgrounds. They're going to do all these crazy things. They're going to flash this lifestyle and flash this car and do all this, and none of that is important. All you need is simple systems in place to make a lot of money online. And if you're already making some money online, then you already know it's possible. So that limiting belief is already gone, because once you make one sale, you can make 1,000,000 sales. And what I'm going to do over the next 20 to 30 minutes is explain exactly how I walk people through making more money online compared to where they're at now for maybe less work than what they're already doing. Because if I had to guess, what you're probably doing now is posting tons of content, which is good because you want people to look at your organic content when they come, and then you're sending out countless DMs. The whole, hey, are you here for the content? Are you here for the weight loss advice? Like every other coach tells you to say, right? First off, 1,000,000 people have gotten that message. You sound like a robot. That is not going to work anymore. So this is what you're going to want to do. First thing that I always recommend people, if you're on Stripe, switch away from that right now. Because when you start to get more paid in fulls and you start to make more money, Stripe is going to put you in a 20% reserve. So if you're at 50,000, 60,000, or let's say 100,000, they're going to keep $20,000 of your money every single month. And it only takes a minimal dispute or to find out you're doing X, Y, and Z, because technically you're not even supposed to be a coach and use Stripe if you look at the fine print. That's why you guys had to select digital service versus coaching. And you can't get any afterpay options if you actually put coaching on there. So we're going to switch you from Stripe to fan bases. It costs nothing to install or to incorporate fan bases into your business. It has a little bit of a higher payment processing fee, but that's way better than getting your accounts in reserve, and you get more paid in fulls. And you have PayPal Later, which can finance up to $10,000, and they can finance it up to 24 months. And then on March 1st, they're adding an even better payment processor. So if you're watching this before then or after then, it's already there or it's coming. And it's like a firm on steroids. They can finance up to $30,000 and only need a credit score of 650. But you're not even going to sell programs that high to fitness clients anyway. So you have a lot of capital to work with. And if they can't get approved, that you would just pivot to a month on what they can afford. Or what I would do is, how much can you afford right now? And then how much can you afford monthly? So you get an upfront sum, and then you go to the monthly payments for them. So that way they lock in and they have some skin in the game to take the program serious, right? So the payment processor is very important before you start doing all this other stuff to make more money, so you don't get put in reserves, so you don't get your account suspended, so you don't lose your afterpay options. And if you're a coach that's making high volumes already, you already know that headache. So the next step is, when you hire me, I'm going to incorporate a setter for you. I pay for the setter's training, and I pay for their first month cost. So I'm paying $1,000 out of pocket just to add you to my team. And they come specifically trained for your niche, specifically trained on your story, and the setter works 40 hours a week on your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Facebook, his LinkedIn, his Instagram, his Facebook, so he can make double the connections. Now, what I recommend my clients do when they get to the $20,000, $30,000 marks and they have more money is to add 3 more setters. Those other 3 setters cannot work directly in your profile because you get yourself banned, but then that triples your connections. And every 100 connections equals a book call, and every 200 connections equals a sale. That's just for some math, so you can figure that out down the road. Now, this team of setters that I have, if you don't like your setter, you can replace them. They're fully trained and dedicated specifically to you. So they're not out there just wandering around trying to send out countless DMs for 50 different people. They're specifically working for you. And every single day they send an end of day report and they check in with you throughout the day. And you can get on calls with them. You're in WhatsApp group with them, and you're talking to them all day long, having communication. So if they don't know how to answer a question that one of the prospects are asking, they hurry up and ask you, then you answer it, and then boom. Now they're doing all this for you. Now when they're done for working for the day of the 40 hours, you can take over, or you can have your second setter that you have come work the other hours. I normally just take over, hit people with some voice notes, send them straight to the book call link, right? So that's the next step. Your setter is going to get you 15 to 20 booked show-up appointments. So the company that I paired with, that I work with on a hand-to-hand basis, they guarantee that. And I pay for the premium version for you guys. So if you don't get that the first month, you get the following month free. So you have 2 months. Even if you only got 20 within the 2 months, that's 10 sales a month. Depending on what you charge, it's $25,000 to $36,000, right? And as you start to book these calls and you get more comfortable, your next step is going to be start upping your ticket price. I would start from $2,000, work your way up to $2,500, work your way up to $3,600 for the year, have them finance it with PayPal later through fan bases or this new payment processor that's coming out on March 1st. That alone is going to scale you from where you are to $20,000 to $30,000 a month, right? And then what you do after that setter is in place and starts to book your calls. It might take a week or two to get those initial book calls because they're building brand new connections and they're building rapport. But then as the seeds are planted over time, it's going to be a consistent lead flow. And then you're going to get organic. You're going to get user stories. You're going to post pain point videos. So that way they actually, when they come and check out your page, they're hearing all the pain point videos or seeing all the transformations you have. If you want to see any of my client highlights and transformations and how much money people have made, you just click the highlights on my Instagram. It'll be in this caption and it'll be in the video description as well as in the comments. So that alone is going to take you from $10,000 to $30,000 a month. Now the next step would be to run A/B split test ads. And when you get to the point where you're running a trial ads and you're getting where you want it to be, your minimum return on investment is going to be $1 turned into 4. And it's going to be anywhere between 4 ROAS to 10 ROAS. Anything beyond that is like outlier side of material. Like it's going to be just real outlier-ish. And it's not really going to convert all the time. So, I mean, even 3X is good because you're taking $1 and turning it into 3. So on the grand scheme of things, if you start spending $10,000, you turn it into 30, you profit 20, and then your setter is making you 20 to 30,000. So now that's how you keep scaling, right? And then over time, Meta starts to like go like this and search and see what's all going on to make the ad operate better. And then you can get the 5 ROAS, the 6 ROAS. And it just depends on what you charge. My ROAS is obviously going to be higher because I'm a little higher ticket because I'm charging for business coaching versus fitness coaching, which there's more in-depth training, right? So it costs more to get on board. But so it can, I could spend $500 to $800 for a client acquisition versus you only want to spend like $200 to $300. The ad spend is going to be different. So you want to start to up your price to like that $3,600 for the year, because when they finance it, it still only equals out to be $300 a month, which is what most coaches are charging anyways, but you get the money paid in full so you can start to invest it back into your business. And that's very like the simple cut and dry of how you're going to go way past $10,000 months. It's not a hard process. It's not tedious. It's just systems and correctly doing it, posting pain point trials, and just keep consistency with booking the calls and closing them. And a good closer, if they're gonna get you 15 to 20, let's just say 20 for great numbers, 20 booked appointments, you'll close 10 of them. Now let's say you worked your way up to $3,600 a month. $3,600 for the year for your coaching, and you close 10. That's $36,000. Now you have the $250 a month for the setter fee, and then you minus however much you signed up for me for. So whatever you financed it from, another $500 to $750 or whatever it ended up being if you took 12 months or 24 months to finance it, and then you take that. So let's just say $1,000 off the $36,000. So you're at 35,000. You take 5,000, start dumping that ad into ads every single month, and you take the 5,000 and you turn it into 15, and you turn it, or you just say 20 for, so it's 15%, 15,000 profit on top of the 30. You're now at $45,000 months. You hired a mentor to take out all the guests, and you're paying for a setter. Now you can get 3 more setters for $250 each. It's only another $750 a month to then start making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. And then you just bump up your ad spend. You change your creatives weekly. The ones that aren't performing, shut them off, turn new ones on, and then you take the highest 3 performing, keep them running. And I've seen anywhere between 5 to 10 ROAS after you keep letting it run for a while. Because if you think about it from a business standpoint, the more money you're spending on a platform and the more money you're putting into ads, the more money you're spending and more time you're spending on a platform, that platform by happenstance is going to start rewarding you more. It only makes sense. If this person is spending $50 a day and you're spending $150 a day, eventually they're going to start giving you the best option out there, right? Because the platform knows you're spending more money. It knows you're bringing traffic. It knows you're performing well. It knows you're doing the correct things. And that's how you're going to scale systems-wise. And then you need to make sure you create SOPs, which I help you do. That money I pay up front to the setters, I give them and create the SOP for your setters, and I create the training for you. So all that will be knocked out with me. I'll help you do all of that. And then you just want to have a mission statement for your business, which that's not going to help you make more money, but it's going to have you treat it like a real business versus a side hobby like you're doing now. And that's really all it takes systems-wise, is ads, setters, someone to mentor you to the right goalposts, how to redirect the ads, how to actually set the funnel up. And then you want to have a VSL. What you're watching right now, this is a VSL. You're going to have that in your bio, so that way when people click on it, they know exactly what you offer, so that way the objections come out of on the table. Then now I'm going to go into a little bit about content and why it's important, and then a little bit about objections of sales, and then I'm just going to tell you guys how you can reach me. So I pretty much gave you people are charging $20,000, $30,000 a month to teach you a year to teach you less than this. They're charging $20K. They give you a course, they make it look all fancy and crazy, and there's like 75,000 modules, and their goal is you never finish the modules, and you think you're just lazy. In reality, I don't even charge half that. You get a setter on board, and you get systems in place. I work with you one-on-one, and I mentor you to the $20,000 and $30,000 months. No modules that you have to sit through, no BS. And I walk you through how to create your VSL, how to revamp your Instagram to make it look better, to have your whole Instagram act like a business card, and implement the setter. The setter comes straight to you, fully trained within 7 days of you starting with me, and we start to knock out $15,000 to $20,000 to $25,000 to $30,000 months versus your $5,000 to $10,000 you're at now, for a half the price of what they charge. And I have more financing options than them, and it comes with a setter. So now your pain point is kind of like what I'm talking about right now. I'm saying you're stuck at 5 to 10. I'm saying that these other coaches are charging way too much. I'm telling you how I can fix it. I'm giving you solutions. That's the type of videos you need to be making on your Instagram and your VSL. Nobody gives a singular fuck if you know how to train a bicep. No one cares like this is the workout to get your traps, to get you. None of that matters. Most of you are probably in better shape than me, and I make more money than you. Like, sure, when I have a pump, I look crazy and I look big on Instagram, and I'm in shape and I can bench over 315 and I do all the fitness things, right? But there's a lot of people out there that are way better shape than me, that are full-blown bodybuilders, that make less money than me, that might have 100,000 followers because they don't know how to utilize the systems, they don't know how to utilize pays and fulls, they don't know how to utilize sales, and they ultimately just don't know how to run as a business. And they're not telling pain point videos. No one gives a fuck about your leg press. No one cares about your bench press. No one cares about how much you can do this Y, and the Z, how many times, how many world records you have in the strict curl. No one cares. They want to know what pain you went through in life to fix it, how you overcame those challenges, and how you can get those people to overcome their challenges. That's all you need to do in your videos. If you go and watch my videos, it's always like, if you're stuck at 10, if you're stuck at 5, if you're stuck at this, if you're sick of working a 9 to 5, and if you're in shape and you're working a 9 to 5, it's always pain point driven. Boom, boom, boom. Then I use trial reels. Trial reels is something different I'll teach you along the way to bring in mass amounts of views. Right here is how many views I get a month, but you don't even see that reflected on my normal page because it's all hidden in my trial reels. Trial reels are going to be sent only to non-followers to force people back to your page. And then you're going to only put pain point driven videos and videos that actually match your niche on your real page, because that's your actual business card. So if you get a reel that reaches 2 million people as a trial reel and 10, 20,000 of them come back to your page to see what you do, it's going to convert to clients, right? Make sure the trial reel is not too far off from your niche and what you do. Like my trial reels are directly towards fitness people and fitness coaches. Like I make a lot of caffeine jokes, a lot of peptide jokes, a lot of gear jokes, a lot of things that I know. Like one of my most viral videos lately is like, do you support LGBTQ? I'm like, yeah, I support Let's Get Big Together Quick plus steroids. Or I made another video, is like, if you don't bench 315, sit to pee, little buddy. Because I know everyone that shares it is going to be a fitness person, right? And that's going to be my target audience, and that's my pain point people when they come back and listen. Like, this dude isn't even in that good of shape compared to me, and he's making $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 months. What am I doing wrong? And then they start to listen and watch all my videos. And that's how you get 1 to 2 clients a week or 1 to 2 clients a day, depending on what you're doing on top of your setter, on top of your ads. Okay, so that's the pain point of the portion of this. The next step, as you incorporate all this together, make sure your Facebook is paired with your Instagram, obviously. Make sure you spend the $15 for the blue check mark. People, I don't care what anyone says, they're like, oh, he thinks he's famous. Facebook has already came out and said they will reward you more if you have it. They've also even said that edits reward you more if you post. Like, you can make the whole video on Instagram, hit edits to edit it, and then repost it back to Instagram, so it gives that little edits mark, and it's going to give you more views automatically. Those are just some simple extra things to get more views. The platform is going to reward you because you're paying for the monthly, and it makes you're verified. How are you going to tell people you're a serious business owner and you're not even willing to spend the $15 a month on the blue check mark? That's a very simple, I don't know why I even need to explain that, but there's still people like, dude, is it even worth it? Like, bro, it's $15. You're going to spend that in energy drinks in 2 days. Like, you want to run a business, but then you don't want to spend $15 on it. Let's be real. And if you want to see any of my testimonials or any of my people and all my wins, because I don't even waste putting them on these videos anymore, because I'm going to talk to you and show it when we get on the call, as well as you can just check it out on my Instagram. And a lot of people just say that screenshots are fake anyways, so I'm actually going to bring in video testimonials and show you like the ins and outs of how these people are doing it. Jarvis Fit is a great example. The Awakened Father is a great example. They're making 3 to 4 sales a week, right? So depending if they're charging $2 to $3,600, it just depends. How much they're making, but Jarvis Fit has 1,000 followers, and you can go ask him. He makes $20,000 to $30,000 a month. Period. So now that I've explained all that, right, and you can get there yourself. You can go and try to find your own setters. I did 6 weeks of interviews to find this setter team to add on top of my business, because setters suck. If any of you have tried it, they're hard to find. I have hundreds of setters available at your disposal at any given time. You don't like them or replace them. They're fully trained for you. I teach you the pain style videos. I teach you the ads that perform. If you've ever tried ads, I'm sure you've thrown it at the wall and it didn't stick. It's not just as easy as hitting the button and praying it goes and works. It doesn't really work that way. They're not overly complicated, but there is a little work done into it. And you want to run it straight through Meta, not through Instagram. There's little tweaks you want to do. And then you want to have a pixel, so that way you can start to retarget, because retarget's where you make a lot of the money, because they're seeing your face again and again and again. Just like you guys see my face constantly. I'm constantly in people's faces on all social medias. That is really all it takes. The setter, then you go to ads, and then you keep the pain point style videos in your videos. Use the trial reels to go organically viral, and then you just stay consistent. And the next step to scale past that is you hire closers, so that way all you're doing is making content and all you're doing is posting videos. And that's it. I don't personally have a closer, because the people watching, you guys want to work directly with me, someone that has had that success in business. Eventually down the road, as I become a full marketing agency and not just coaches, I will have closers. And the only time they'll come and have access to me The setter will talk to the people. The closers will close them. They'll drop them into Instagram in a group chat with me. I'll hit them up with a voice note like, hey, book your first one-on-one so we can have our one-on-one sit down, and then explain the process to them. And then they're going to get dropped into my group. You guys should always have group calls for your people because it builds a community. Mine's on Instagram and school, mainly on Instagram, and that's it. It's a very simple process. Those are the systems you need to put in place. I don't need to put a fancy background out here or stand in front of a Lamborghini to prove to you. I don't need to have any fancy bullshit. I don't need to give you a fancy course. It's very simple marketing that you just haven't dove into yet. And I understand it. And I don't charge $20,000 like these people do. And I help you guys finance it so that way you don't have to pay it out of pocket. Yeah, you can put it on your credit card. It'd probably be cheaper than what financing options that a lot of these Afterpays have. Or if you can't get approved, that would be a way to do it. Or we'll set up a payment plan outside of that if you get denied. But you're taking anywhere between $500 to $1,500 a month and turning it in to $15,000 to $30,000 and beyond that. Once you understand the fundamentals, the setters alone are going to make you $20,000. If you're already making 10, I'm definitely adding another 10 to 15 to your business, if not more. Like my niche now is I'm taking fitness coaches stuck at 6 to 9 and taking them from 20 to 100,000, depending on what systems you keep implementing and how many more setters you add and how much money you're willing to spend on ads. Like if you make $30,000 a month and you want to dump 10K back into ads, you're going to take that $30,000 a month and double it to 60 the following month. But some people are okay with $30,000 a month. $30,000 a month is an amazing life for almost every single human out there. And that's the goal, is we want to get people financial freedom to leave these 9-to-5s, to leave these rat races and show you what's possible online. And it is a very simple process. So if this sounds like something you're interested in and you found me on YouTube, or if my setter sent this to you, or you clicked my link in my bio, or I sent it to you just because you DM me Scale or Die, all you have to do is come back into Instagram and say, hey, I want to book a call. Like send me the booking link, and then I'm going to go over your one-on-one strategy with you and then see if we can get you financed and see if we can get you approved. And then we're going to start. We're going to have your setter working for you within 7 days. We're going to start working on everything. We're going to start revamping your Instagram. We're going to turn your $5,000 to $10,000 months into $20,000 to $30,000 months fast. It's that simple. So much love, y'all. I hope I gave a bunch of benefits for this. I know it looks basic. That was the point. I wanted to keep a very basic background. I'm not about that fancy shit. I'm not about that whole guru. Get up at 3 a.m, work hard, post more, post 50 times a day. You could post a lot, and that's how you're going to take over social media, but you don't need to make a lot of money. Setters, ads, systems, SOPs, track your KPIs, have a good closing rate. Also, before I forget, I do want to go over objections really fast. If you get, I need to bring my spouse, I need to talk to my spouse, you should have never got that. You should have told them to bring their spouse to the call. So if you're watching this and you have a spouse and you think that she might object, bring her to the call when you book with me, because I'm going to tell you to do it anyways, and then I'm going to rebook with you, or not even have you even come to the call if you didn't bring him. Because that's the objection that's hard to overcome, because that's just an scapegoat. So I make them bring the spouse with them, or tell them, hey, I already talked to my spouse, we're good to rock and roll. I can't afford it. Awesome, we have financing options. If you can't get approved, and we can see how much money you can afford up front, and then make it a monthly payment, and then you can pay them on the back end within 30, 60, or 90 days. You have them sign a contract. That's another one. I need to think about it. That's not a real objection. That's just them trying to get out of it. Like, okay, awesome. So do you need to think about the price of the program or the program itself? On the program, the price. I just don't know. Okay, awesome. So we don't even know if the financing team is going to approve you. So let's try to get you approved. And if they don't, we'll just see what we need to do next to try to get you, if you can pay some money up front, and then we'll put you on a payment plan ourselves with our own payment link. Okay, sounds good. Well, I just don't know at this time. Okay, so at that point, I wouldn't force it, because they're going to become a dispute anyways. They're going to become a dispute claim down the road when they can't afford it, because the first thing that's going to go is a fitness plan. Same with insurance. Like if they have insurance, they're going to cut that off before they cut food for their family. It's just common sense. So goal would be, don't force it too much if they really can't afford it. But if you made videos like this and you're showing them like, hey, it will be an investment. It will be an investment, to come work with me. If you're watching this video and you think that it's free, then you already lost the game, because you want people to invest in you, but you don't want to invest in people to get you to a higher level. So that's what you need to do on a grand scheme of things, is when it comes to objections, know that a lot of it's just a smokescreen. They're not real. And you didn't tell them enough information for when they got there to get all of those objections out the way, or your sales call, the scripts were not good enough to when you got to the end and you dropped the price, or when you drop the price, you just, it's like $7,500, but you can finance it. Like, is that something you want to know? Like, hey, it's $7,500. Do you want to put it on your own card, or do you want to try the financing options? It's either or. Always assume the sale. Always be selling. I mean, you learn that in the car game. You learn that in insurance. You learn that in anything in sales. It's this option or that option, and that's it. And if you don't do it comfortably and you don't have confidence that you can get them results, they're going to hear it in your voice. I confidently can say, if you're making $5,000 to $10,000 a month and you implement these, you will be at $20,000, $30,000, and $40,000. Ads work if you know how to do them. Every company runs ads. Setters work if you have the correct setters. I have them in place. I have my coaches already doing it. My setter probably reached out to you to give you this video, or they reached out to you to Instagram to book your call. They work. I probably didn't even talk to you. You probably thought you did. Now, when you get on the call for me to show you the one-on-one, it's me. But you probably booked this with the actual setter. So, with that being said, if you still want to work with me after watching this video, just hit me up. Tell me you need the booking link, and I'll look forward to it. You can only book out within 72 hours. That's another thing you need to do for yours. Don't let them go weeks on end, because after 72 hours, it's about a 60% chance they're not going to show. And anywhere between 30 to 50% of people only show. So if you have 50 book calls that month, expect maybe 25 to show up. That's just normal. There's things to put in place that my setters do for you, like a day before, an hour before, 30 minutes before, 20 minutes before, 5 minutes before, and then post call. That can help a lot. On top of sending a video like, hey, James, we got a call in 30 minutes. I'm looking forward to it. Make sure you have notes to take. Make sure your spouse is there if you have a spouse. And make sure you're ready to rock and roll. We're going to see if we can get all these we can implement all these systems in for you, and see if you're a good fit. Looking forward to it. Quick video. It actually ups the show rate by 30%. So there's just some keys that you'll learn along the way. So much love, y'all. Make sure you follow me on Instagram if you found this on YouTube, or if you found this from another platform. And then DM me and let me know that you actually do want to join the team. My kids are acting crazy in the background, sorry. That's like I said, I don't make anything fancy, man. You either want in or you don't, and we can change each other's lives. We can change a lot of lives together. And it doesn't have to be this crazy extravagant. You don't have to be in this pool in a penthouse going like this to get clients. I promise you. It's just systems, setters, correct ads, and consistency, create SOPs and KPIs. Treat it like a real business. Much love, y'all. Message me if you want to book a call.